Hello, it's Beverly with the Intuitive Interior. It's December 2025 and time for the I Ching reading. So, this month is the Earth Rat month, the Yang Earth Rat. Means we have a mountain on the top part of our hexagram combined with the rat, which is one of the more dedicated and devoted animals in the I Ching. It's also can be one of the most devious because the rat got to first place in the whole chain of the 12 animal signs because, well, it kind of tricked the ox and by asking for a ride on its back as it was crossing the river to go into the palace, and then just at the end it jumped off and scurried to first place. Does that mean that you can't trust a rat? No, it just means that rats know how to get what they want, and they're not afraid to use whatever means necessary. Now, with this energy in mind, a mountain is pretty unmoving. It's very stable. It's very grounded, obviously. Um, and the rat is the water element. When water knows how to exploit any cracks in those mountains so that it knows how to get to from point A to point B. It's not afraid of getting dirty. It's not afraid of um, well finding the opportunity and going for it. This particular combination really talks about changing your mindset. It talks about knowing that there are restrictions, that mountain it's there, and it's going to have some um, obstacles in our path. But that rat energy, it really, it's like, oh well, don't think of it as this immovable, there's no way that I'm ever gonna get through this. It's going to help you shift that mindset, tap into that intuitive power, that conscious ability to check your thoughts, and then seeing where that little sneaky pathway is that other people can't see, but you can, because you're tuned into that energy of abundance and that energy of wisdom. Um, there's always options. So that's the first thing. The other card that is part of December, because we have the mountain trigram on the top and the water trigram on the bottom. Excuse me, the water trigram on top and the yang wood trigram on the bottom. That combination comes up here with this I Ching card. It's number 3. It's called Difficulty in the Beginning. Um, it's words that are associated with it are growing pains, doubts and fears, awkwardness, becoming stronger, vulnerability, and inexperience. Anytime you bust out of your old shell, you're kind of wobbly. You don't necessarily know which end is up. Um, that doesn't mean that you don't move forward. That just means that you have to give yourself grace as you're stepping forward into something new. Now, this reading specifically goes between December the 7th and January the 4th, because that's the whole lunar calendar. So if you're watching this before the 7th, you're probably still experiencing some of that clash energy that of the pig month, which ends on December 6th. That pig month energy and snake it's that sandpaper. It's the, hey, let's go through and make sure that we smooth off all those rough edges so that you're not snagging yourself as you're moving forward into these new opportunities. So as we break out of our shells, as we prepare to break out of those shells, we're just completing this whole process that most people have been on the entire month, or excuse me, this entire year of 2025. The snake energy is one of expansion to the point of discomfort where, oh, I can't stay in this skin anymore. I can't be in this constricted environment. The skin suddenly splits and then you can finally slither out, but it takes a lot to move forward. So this is the month we're breaking out of that shell. We are moving forward, but we have to understand that we're moving forward from a place of very tender new skin. This is it's a time to be gentle as you flex your new muscles, as you expand into that new room that you have in the world. This is the cosmic, I'm not going to say the cosmic 2x4, but it certainly is a cosmic redirect. It is the jolt that we sometimes need to make a different choice. It's that jolt that says, "Oh, yeah, I've not been very kind to myself. I've been doing what everybody else has been telling me to do, even though my intuition has said maybe I should do something different." Or on the other side, maybe I've been ignoring all of that great advice that I've been getting for my entire life, or at least the past couple of months, and trying to do things my own way. Maybe it's time for me to become coachable. Maybe it's time for me to, listen to the mentors, because again, that's the wisdom. That's the period 9 energy. It is the learning how to differentiate what is information and what is the actual true wisdom. So this is going to be a good time to understand, notice how your intuition has been guiding you. Notice where those nudges here and there may be turning into swift kicks in the butt, because sometimes we don't want to change our course. Sometimes we're very content with the level of discomfort and the level of discontent because it feels normal. We don't have to live like that. This is a good month to trust the mysterious rhythms that are impacting your life, and know that you're going to be in that good calm place because you're surrounded with all these energies that want you to have success. Now, the clarifying cards, let me get to my place in my book, are number 42, increase. I love this image. It's that of beautiful red and white flowers in a field just popping up. Now, again, it's December, so it doesn't feel like we're getting a whole lot of flowers moving in here, but it's such a feeling of abundance. And the words here are sharing, reaping rewards, overflow, expansion, flowering, encouragement, fertile ground, and abundance. The hexagram has the yin wood on the top and the yang wood on the bottom. Now, you'll look here on this side, the yang wood is also illustrated as if it's a thunderbolt. Think, in order for any kind of a flower, you have to bloom, you have to have that explosion inside of the seed. But that happens under the earth, that you don't see that explosion. You just start to see the little shoot coming up, and hence the abundance. So while we don't always notice when that is around, what's happening underneath, we always see the after effects. Think about gratitude and acts of kindness. The first decision has to be made that, hey, I'm actually going to see if I can do something nice for somebody. Maybe it's just a smile at the cashier in the high stress times. Maybe you're the one who puts a little extra dollar or two in the food bank, or the next time you're at a nonprofit. It could be something as subtle as that. It could be donating to any of the endless number of charities that are offering services to others for the holidays. This is a great time to share your joy and increase it by sharing it with others. Now, the focus line is number 2. That means that it's in the inner world. It is that decision point. It's really you taking all of that energy of your inner decisions and moving them, beginning to organize them so you can move out into the future. That's what the line 2 means. And it says here, as your field of influence expands, your actions can go a long way towards setting wholesome precedents for others. It is appropriate and intelligent to suffuse all that you do with gratitude for the support that you have been given from so many directions. Let the increase proliferate. All kinds of projects can flourish in leaps and bounds now, but be sure not to neglect the everyday simplicities of life as you embrace the opportunities that are open to you now. I think that's a good one to keep in mind because the next clarifying card is number 6, conflict. We have a couple of, they kind of remind me of indigenous versions of the Rock'em Sock'em robots back in the old days of toys where you had two little operated boxers that were trying to knock your block off. Well, that's what they're doing. They literally are causing a volcano that is being formed between their touching foreheads. And you see the smoke rising above their heads because of how much friction and heat is happening. The clarifying words on this are will to power, not just willpower, but will to power. Hostility, jealousy, stubbornness, aggression, fear, competitiveness, and controversy. I felt like I just, channeled the whole Wizard of Oz thing. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! This focus line is number 6, and that is the external environment as it starts to expand out and really make this conflict energy known. It starts to then funnel back around to, okay, wait a minute. Why am I perpetuating this? Why is this all happening out here? What's going on internally that is creating the environment for me to desire to perpetuate this? So this says, when things reach a boiling point, the flame underneath the pot doesn't magically go out by itself. However difficult it may seem, it is essential to work steadily towards resolution. In the beginning, it feels galling to the ego because the ego hates nothing more than the appearance of vulnerability. But in the end, comfortable clothes are a lot less painful than a suit of armor. How many of us have been armoring up, especially after the holidays? How many of us have been armoring up for maybe the next round of holidays or the next conversation that we have to have at work, or perhaps difficult choices that need to be made within our own personal lives? Finding a way to look for the common ground with whatever the situation might be. Maybe it's even within yourself. Maybe it's the common ground with the part of you that is unwilling to or uncomfortable with receiving that joy that we talked about earlier. Maybe somebody is just being real good about, hey, I have this big basket of produce. I don't know, take your pick. And you're like, okay, great. Thank you. I've got all this now. And I really do need all of this. But I feel uncomfortable because now it feels like I'm a charity case. I'm encouraging you to take a deep breath and allow the part of you that feels unwilling to receive, just give them a little extra love and let that part of you know that, yeah, okay, I can take this because now you have abundance. Now, when it's your turn, you may be the receiver right now, but maybe down the road, you will be able to take this, whatever leftover, conflict inside of you, and shift it where you can start blessing others. And see, the increase keeps happening. The clash of wills, the feeling like you're giving in, it just adds to the overall vibe of defensiveness, of anger, of fear, of sometimes almost wanting to be misunderstood so you have something to fight against. Take a breath, let that go. Just watch it as if it's clouds going by so that way you can reconnect with source, reconnect with that, all that is. So these conflicts can be the temporary things that they really need to be. In order to do all of that, the other clarifying card, I always love how this all works together, is number 52. It's called Keeping Still. It is a double yang earth. So it's yang on the top and on the bottom. The words here are meditation, self renewal, composure, detachment, self acceptance, equanimity, and serenity. And it has the image of a very serene looking Buddha doing his little Om thing and meditating. Now, this focus line is focus line 5. This line is the one that is aligned with how how you are in public, how you are in groups, when you're interacting with maybe the other shoppers around you, perhaps maybe in the traffic when everybody else is getting all frustrated. How can you ground? How can you keep still and find that place of calm so that that energy is what permeates out and can help others find their calm, find their ability to shift their perspective. This says meditation is not just sitting on a hilltop away from others, it is also speaking and acting from inner stillness. Watch your words and your actions now as carefully as you would watch your feet as you walk across a narrow platform over an abyss, not with tension, but with care. When you get it right, you'll feel the resonance within your every word and gesture. I don't know about you, but when I read that first part about, walking as if you're on a narrow platform over an abyss, I couldn't help but immediately think about um, the scene from Indiana Jones where they have to get from point A to point B, and there's just this huge drop. And if you were, what do? You can't just walk over thin air, except that's exactly what needed to happen. He was able to focus, take that deep breath, and there was something there waiting for him. And it's still nerve-wracking to know that there's this deep abyss going like, okay, well, if I get too distracted, I will fall. But that's where the inner stillness, that's why that is so important, because we do have a lot of changes that are happening right now. The pig month is the conflict animal with the horse, and we're moving into the energy already of 2026. So you're starting to feel a little bit of that shift of, okay, well, if I've got this horse energy in my month or day or year or hour pillar, there could be some big changes coming up. How am I going to handle all of this? You're going to be supported because you've got that inner stillness. Now, this month will be a very good month for those who have dragon, monkey, or ox in their Chinese astrology chart, because the dragon and monkey are allies, and the secret friend for the rat is the ox. And it doesn't mean this is going to be a crappy month if you've got horse in your pillar. It just means you get to expect some kind of change, some kind of recalibration, some kind of, perhaps it's a leveling up. Maybe this is going to be the month where you get your promotion. Maybe this will be the month where you get to say, ooh, it's probably time to get my resume together, because this particular path is no longer working for me. It might be the month where you find romance. I don't know, but there will be a recalibration and a smoothing out of some of those rough edges. Again, this is for the horse people. So yeah, that's kind of what we have to look forward to in December. Taking that time, as busy as we are, it's very important to take a breath, get grounded, hug a tree if you need to, or at least, pet one as you go out to shovel your driveway, depending on what part of the world you're in. Have a great December. And remember, sharing is caring, but only give what people really need. Don't just give for the sake of giving. Give what other people need. because otherwise you're just offloading junk. All right. Have a good one. Take care.